Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you about the geology of the Boleras deposit. It's a tertiary stratiform disseminated silver deposit in the Mesa Central on the eastern slopes of the Sierra Madre Occidental, north-central Mexico, the state of Durango. It's located halfway between the mining districts of Tovar and Guanaceví, and about 75 kilometers from La Piteria of SSR mining. And that's important because La Piteria is a type example of what we're seeing at the Boleras deposit and the Sandra camp as a whole. This is one part of a much larger caldera complex. I'd like to thank my co-authors, Dale Bridliff and Art Fries of ORX Minerals. This hillside is quite distinct because you can see the green dot in the middle is the drill rig. There are about 65 drill holes on this hillside right now, and that marks where the Boleras silver deposit is located. Originally discovered by Canasil, the Boleras deposit is currently a joint venture between Pan American Silver and ORX Minerals. The town of Tepehuanes is about a half an hour drive from this town, and all of the facilities you'd want for access, power, nearby villages, everything is located in this spot. It's a beautiful location to do exploration in Mexico. The deposit itself on that hillside is a unit of volcaniclastics referred to as a crystallithic tuff. You can see a photomicrograph on the right-hand side, and the samples themselves look like concrete. Basically, it's a gray rock. There is no gossan in this location because there is very little pyrite in the system, so there's nothing to create that reddish gossan development. Samples that look very much like concrete can carry hundreds of grams of silver, and there are stockworks in places that are broadly spaced stockworks where the unit has some of the higher grades, and those are quartz barite veinlets in the stockworks. These are some samples with their respective silver grades next to them, and you'll see that it is this dull gray looking rock. But it's quite interesting to see how this setting occurs. I see it as being similar to the Cordon Colorado zone of La Piteria. This is the Boleras zone of the Sandra camp. Silver-bearing minerals are on the lower temperature end. You can see here we've done a backscattered electron image. This is a pyrolusite that is argentiferous. You can have 22% silver in an argentiferous pyrolusite. It's a manganese oxide. We also have manganese hydroxides, the unusual mineral aurorite. There are salts as well, silver-bearing salts, cerargyrite and bromargyrite are silver chloride and silver bromide minerals. There's some native silver in the system, and there is some minor silver in silicates, which is on the refractory end of the scale. So metallurgical work will certainly have to take place before this project goes a long ways. The deposit itself is tabular. Where we've drilled into it, it averages about 20 meters thick, and it's absolutely flat into this hillside. The stripping ratio is very favorable, that it would be outcropping in a location like this. Stripping ratio would be less than a 1-to-1 on what we've discovered so far. So from a mining viewpoint, a lower cutoff grade could be applied because of the advantages of mining. Now, where is the source area is one question that you have to look at. Is we have not yet found the source, but we see this is lower temperature and that the minerals are increasing in temperature as you head towards the northwest. The Sandra project has the first resource for Boleras, and what we've found to date is 33 million ounces of silver in this tabular deposit. But it is by no means the end of the story. There are many more targets on the property and more to be discovered. Thank you very much.